All right, everybody. Okay, give me one. And now, see. Okay. Okay. Okay, that was me. Okay. Okay. What the hell is this? Oh, cool. All right. I think I'm on. Perfect. Let's go, everyone. All right. So today is pretty chill. Not much going on here. Feel a little bit better than yesterday. You know, it is what it is. Uh, the wax and wanes of life, huh? So, it's all right. You know, sometimes you just have to do things, going through things, and then life would be okay. All right. So, okay. I have not bring the price action yet, but we have pretty good news. Well, I mean, relatively good news. We haven't seen any price action. Of course, everybody only care about that. But I really think there's an underlining um, thing that is about to happen. But I'm sure if you follow Gamestop, you would also find out that there's an insider trading. Insider trading. No, inside buy. So I'm trying to find it right now. Why is it not up there? That's so funny. It's so funny. Okay, it's not coming. Okay, I think I'm getting there. Okay, microphone's on. I think everything's good. Cool. All right, all right. Hope everybody doing well. Now, yesterday's show, I know I did one. I was going to edit at the end there because you know some stuff was flying around. So accidentally delete the whole thing. So I try to do the copy thing and then you know delete the original and then end up accidentally deleted the copy thinking it was the original. So nothing I could do. Now it's all gone. I know. Sometimes, you know, I don't want to dock myself. That's why I do it that way. But again, if you're keenly watching enough, I'm sure, you know, at some point you're gonna see my, you know, some personal information here. But yeah, just to be sure, you guys like you're living online here, you understand that sometimes it is what it is. Hey, Guy Rosen, what's up? 2 shares only, just move. Uh, RSI from, okay, 50 to 70. That means only a couple of shares was used. Wow, really? That's crazy, huh? Well, again, like we all know that the manipulation is there and there's so many trick and tactic that people that they've been using, you know, for quite some time. So I wouldn't put that past them. But you know, none of that really matter too much. Of course, the short term price actions really give people a little bit of um, I guess a frustration of some sort. But you know, I really look at this as a buying opportunity. Um, Now, with that being said, though, I really think that crypto is going to pump a lot harder. really, because not to say that, GME's not going to run either, but I think they're going to pump crypto first. Then you're going to see GME run. So again, that's why I'm betting on, XRP and Bitcoin also. I haven't had too much of an accumulation stage for Bitcoin, although I'm slowly inching it to it. But having GME shares, you have some amount of Bitcoin in it already. So I'm not too worried about accumulating Bitcoin in particular. But as far as XRP, I think it has a lot more potential in that sense. So I have two separate account here, so that's why I wanted to have some exposure of XRP to my long-term bag. So that's why, because traditionally my long-term bag is only GME. So that's why I shaved some today. But again, hopefully if XRP were to jump, quite a bit of leap, of course I'm going to come back to GME if it's still at this price level, right? Who knows? Again, like, I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep this down. It seems like it's been 4 years already, so they've been having quite a bit of tools in order to keep this down. But you've seen a lot of good development coming in here. Insider are buying in droves here. Of course, just one for now. So more to be expected. I don't know if this is going to be the week of which insider is going to try to buy more and more. Nat Turner, hopefully he's going to at least jump in. But the fact that, the leadership are using their own money here to buy into the company, their own shares. And again, this gentleman already have some already, but this is just an additional shares being added. So pretty encouraging to see. Perhaps they know what we've all expected. Something is about to be announced, or who knows, right? Next quarter, or again, they have been doing something behind closed door that we don't really get a chance to take a look at. But very good to see this, actually. So that's for now. That's a news for GME. I have been look at the price of Bitcoin quite a bit. Now I know, it's been kind of, doing a little dance over here. But all in all, you guys, like, if you zoom out, it's not crashing anywhere, okay? People is gonna draw this correlation where, this is going to be the double top, right? Double top, and then boom, right? Way down over here, way down over here. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but if it does, right? Why complain? Why complain? I don't think so. I feel like there's a lot of hype in the space already, with the ETFs coming in. Large cap ETF, apparently the SEC just announced approval for the large cap, which is an ETF that includes those the 5 large cap company. So there you go. Where did it go? I mean, people keep trying to say that, it's only XRP ETF got approved. It's not just the XRP, you guys. So there's Solana, there's ADA, ADA, ETH, and Bitcoin. So that was approved today, apparently. But again, this is just a signal that what is this? People have memes and everything, so pretty funny to see sometimes. But yeah, people are looking for attendees over here. But the whole thing about, hold on, let me see. Yeah, I'll talk about uh, the ETF a little bit more in detail. But let's see. So today's price action, a lot of shenanigan still going on. Who knows? It looks like it's still kind of teeter-totting a little bit here. So let's look at this indicator and see what's going on. So with just this, you could see that there's a buying, trigger over here. So yeah, they're scooping up as the price coming down. Nothing new to really report here other than we have a insider buying today. Apparently it was bought yesterday, so that's why. Now, we might still be trading in this range for quite some time, unless, like I said before, they might want to come with this, bring us down to 21 and try to scare many people out again, and then do one of these things, and then go back up, right? So be prepared for that. I mean, I'm not saying it will happen just like that, but again, the more people they could scare away, the better for them, right? Or the better for people who are actually going to buy more. Okay, so right now, like I said, I wanted some exposure to at least the XRP, so that's why I was buying some XRP with some of the amount of shares that I was selling at around this time right here, 24. Now again, I'm not saying that 24 is somehow the lowest. Of course, this is the or the highest that it's going to go into. Again, the price action could still go up to that $28 right here range, and then coming back down, right? And it could still be ranging off of this, a little bit of that going on here. With the new announcement or whatever, this particular earnings, you might see that spike right there and then drop back down here. Again, they do that almost every earnings, right? When you expect something good, they always have the ability to smack it down. Now, not to say that, okay, then just buy puts. Like, no, of course not. What if they're not going to do that this time, right? Then you're going to get your ass kicked, so to speak. So don't do that. Obviously, the speculation is like, too wild. The best case scenario, obviously, is to buy, whenever possible, if you can, right? But so I have a plan going on. So it's worth kind of look into my strategy a little bit here, because like this has always been my strategy, and I've talked about it extensively. Sometimes because I don't mention it, people don't realize that yes, there are strategy here that you have to at least come up with, for your own self. Like, don't believe in somebody's telling you, oh, it's gonna go to this price, and that's the price that you're locked in, And even if I believe that it could go to $1,000 a share or $3,000 a share, that doesn't mean that it's gonna be there at that price. Okay, so if you understand that, I feel like it's half of the battle over here. Okay. So again, everybody's going to have their own strategy. This is just so happened to be mine that I come up with by myself, knowing what I know about the company, right? So again, like I always have this in mind. Before I just put, X, right? And then, I always have 1,000 shares in mind in which I'm gonna, try to sell it at this price. And if it doesn't get into this price, then I'll have to wait until this happens, right? And I don't think it's gonna go to $1,000 a share until these stuff happens. Okay, does that make sense? It means that yes, if it happens tomorrow, great. But if it doesn't happen tomorrow, then yes, I could wait until these happen. Right? The S&P 500, the dividends, fundamental improvement, which we already have, and then the 300 million to 400 million, which we're going to have next quarter. Okay, or the next fiscal year. Just few quarters even, actually. Now, somebody did some digging and they found a fund from Jimmy in JP Morgan's fund, apparently. And so, from subtracting and deducting reasoning, it says in there that Jimmy has 10% in that account. And so that means that $8 billion was locked in at this rate right here. So again, if you do that calculation, right, you're going to come up around this range. So that's why I have it there. Well, I've had it there for quite some time. If you looked at my older video, you would have seen it, talked about every now and then, not every video. So with that though, of course, these are my, my criteria or whatever that will give me that $1,000 to $3,000 a share. That might take a couple years, right? So that's why I have it in my Roth. See, long-term Roth IRA, no big deal, right? I could wait. Now, of course, in that account, I'm gonna hold this amount of share forever. I don't care if it's gonna go 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. No, I'm just gonna hold this forever because I don't know how high it's gonna go, right? Just in case that whole thing is really, really is true that that MOAS is going to happen because a lot of shares being locked up by retail who would never ever sell at a certain price. So why 250? Because I feel like, okay, if you have, let's say, a million shareholder, right? So 1 million shareholder, how many shares do we need to hold for us to hold the whole float? So do that math for yourself. I don't need to do the math for you. So I mean, 200 is pretty substantial amount if the share price is ridiculously high. And then the rest would be traded. Yeah, trading back and forth, buying back in. Hopefully, you're gonna get more shares. If not, it's okay, because I'm planning to sell, a certain amount in order to hopefully in the future being able to lower my cost average. So that's the whole point. Now, of course, also too, right now, I am trimming some because I wanted to get into XRP real quick. Because again, the the ETF thing news, you can't miss on that one. So that's why I went to the other ETF that is 2X ETF for XRP. So that's what I'm doing right now. So again, I'm hoping to trade on that. Now, because it's IRA, it's not going to be taxable. Everything that I trade in that account is not going to be triggered unless I withdraw it. Okay, so that's going to be taxable. Anyway, so this one is actually it's going to be higher than this one now, because this one I go by 5 times book. So book value right now, it's more than $10. So I need to do a new math for that one. So just be aware of that. Now this is just me keeping track of the money raised and the bond, the convertible notes and all of that. This is the amount of Bitcoin they have, Bitcoin per share, Satoshi per share. And this is the current price. If the current price is 100,000, you will be able to get $1 per Bitcoin per share. I mean, again, it is what it is, right? We're hoping that it's going to be a lot better. So if you have 1,000 share, you're going to have $1,000 worth of Bitcoin in there. So that's why, again, when I said, I have some Bitcoin built into this already. So currently I trimmed some today. So right now I only have this much. So there you go. So I have close to $2,000 worth of, Bitcoin built into GME already. So I'm okay with not having, outside Bitcoin accumulated. Now I do have, small amount, less than like $500 worth of Bitcoin right now, but I'm not going to sell that one. That's like a different thing altogether, right? Okay, so again, that's just my strategy. Of course, you don't have to follow to the team. Yeah, I'm creating my own strategy here. Nobody tell me about this strategy, so you also have your own. You might, have some covered call or whatever. Currently, I have two covered call too, so I should find that one. But that 2 covered call, it's in my, option account. I am trying to transfer it to a different one where it's just going to be consolidated in one. So we'll see how that is going to work out. Currently, I don't have to buy it back yet. I haven't, because I was waiting on this one. Now, I might, hold on. Again, I don't know if it's going to come down, but I feel like anytime it's so tight like this, right? They're going to drop it first, rip your heart out, and then go, right? It happens so many times. See, it happens over here too. Drop first, then go, right? I don't know. Again, speculation, please don't be crazy. Okay. Not a TA person, but just knowing how this works, sometimes I feel like, okay, I could really predict the next move here. Not really. Don't say that. I don't want to be offended to anyone. Okay, so that's that. Now, I've been tracking XRP. Let's switch gear. I know a lot of people might not like that, but hold on, let me, yeah. So with this one, I am keeping track of the amount of token that is being burned. Not too much being burned, you guys. Like, this is the amount of tokens that is being burned so far by the XRP ledger. Of course, I update it every now and then. So far, I've been tracking it around 192 days so far. So with this amount of days and this amount of token, that's how I got this one per day. Okay, so only 4,000 some token being burned per day. That's not too exciting, because it's going to take a long time to burn the whole thing over here, right? Which again, this could also be the network hasn't been fully fleshed, integrated yet. Again, just because they approved the ATF, you guys, it doesn't mean that they're gonna use the technology quite yet. I truly believe that, this is just the beginning of the whole, putting everything on chain. Okay. Just like how Robinhood has been kind of like propping it up yesterday with their announcement, or 2 days ago, maybe. With their announcement on going all in on blockchain and tokenization and all that stuff. So with that terms, you guys, this is why, like when they use tokenization terms and all that stuff, these terms has been coined by the XRP, people for quite some time. Now, that doesn't mean that only XRP could be tokenized or you have to use XRP to tokenize anything. It's just that the transaction fees and all that stuff is just cheaper than most chain out there. And you have the safety and reliability of it being around even longer than, not longer, sorry, even as long as Bitcoin has been around. So the only challenge part is that, it hasn't been used by many institutions yet, okay? Doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. And just because they're approved ETF it doesn't mean that it's going to happen tomorrow either, okay? So just be a little bit patient in that. Okay, so let me go back to okay, so I might go out in 15 minutes, you guys. Been on for quite a bit, but I know, again, not much going on, you guys. I feel like calm before the storm thing, but I've been saying that for quite some time. You might be tired of hearing it now. Noticing that the off exchange is a little bit lower than it used to be, so perhaps again they've gone back to quote unquote normal again. Although this is like not normal at all for any other companies out there, right? But understand that the short interest has been perking up again. Look at this. So you see that. Look, most recently, that this is June. Recently, so you've seen a lot of activity there, in terms of shortings and all that stuff. Okay, so that means that we have to be vigilant now. In terms of volume, it's kind of lowering again. Like they have been successfully cutting down the volume. And on top of that, not many people are willing to at least coming in yet. Like, right? So yes, institutions are quietly, and we know that they're quietly accumulating the shares. So of course, even the insider are quietly accumulating the shares. So I'm expecting something big, right? Soon, maybe next quarter. Who knows? Or none at all, whatever all tech or whatever, that quad witching, there's so many quad witching time in which we see nothing going on. So just take that with a grain of salt too. So of course people are hyping up the next date now, that by the end of July 8 or something, or July 11. So that's the next hype date. But anyway, my two call option is still in the 2018. Yeah, right now I haven't done anything yet, so I might buy. I don't know if I want to buy it anyway. Currently, again, the reason why I haven't added anything yet, because I don't have cash right now. My last paycheck, I had to, help some family member out, so I didn't have anything on my own. But it's okay. It's an emergency. You have to. I count it as a blessing to be able to do that. So, but sometimes, I need to bless myself too. So please, the universe, give me something. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so open interest, not too much, you guys. Like you've seen, yes, I mean 100,000 contract here, but as far as the gamma ram and all that stuff, I don't think they're gonna let it, you guys. Come on, we all know this, right? Unless they know something, about whatever catalyst that Ryan Cohen's gonna be able to, shake these people out. Maybe the only way to shake them out is to issue as many shares as possible. Okay, if you want to sell it like that nakedly, then I could sell my own shares as well. So, and you have retail to deal with. I feel. Hey. what's up, Matt? Thank you so much for joining. I'm almost towards the end, so sorry about that. I have about 10 more minutes to go. Let's see. So yes, Max Payne is here, so be on the lookout for that price. I would not be surprised that it's gonna end in that Max Payne price level. Currently, what is it like within 10 cents difference? So, and Friday we're not gonna open, right? So yeah, that's gonna sucks. So I mean, look at this. I mean, mark my word, it's gonna close somewhere around there. For tomorrow, wait, tomorrow is Wednesday. Sorry about that. I'm talking about Friday. We're not gonna be open. So 4th of July is Friday. We have 2 more trading. So there you go. We might be able to see something like that. Okay. Or somebody's gonna try to spike it up and gamma hedging. Who knows? Little tinnies. Okay, so people are excited about the big beautiful bill. More spending, right? Of course, we know that they cannot stop spending. So what does that mean? It means that asset price gonna go up in price. And that's gonna be over time. And that's good for Bitcoin for sure. The more they spend, the more money slushing around somewhere. So it's going to bleed into Bitcoin. And of course gold and all that stuff too. But I really think that crypto is going to be you're gonna see some crazy thing happen in crypto. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning. So one thing I want to say is that a lot of time people, that have money already, they typically don't look at stuff like this, right? 5 years ago, if you tell me that certain asset manager is going to recommend 2%, 1 to 2%, let alone something crazy to the tune of 40% actually. Hold on, let me see if I could find that video here real quick. Apparently more and more now, a lot of asset manager has becoming more bullish, especially on Bitcoin. Okay, I'm not just talking about the whole crypto here. Of course, what's good for Bitcoin is also good for the rest.
Hello, everyone. We've got a lot.
The rest of the crypto space. Okay, now that's like Ethereum, that's Loopring, that's whatever ecosystem that are built on the Ethereum system or Ethereum network. And on top of that, you see a lot of Fidelity just bought a whole bunch of Ethereum. Maybe they're waiting on that next wave of adoptions, or not even adoption, just price movement, price discovery for ETH. Okay, now this is the gentleman that I'm talking about. Rick Doman. Apparently, he's a pretty well-known asset manager that are now calling for a 40% crypto allocation. Again, credibility, more and more is going to join in. You already have Larry Fink saying that you should do 1 to 2. Now, this is more aggressive approach here. Okay, the most conservative that he's calling for is 10%. 10%. Okay. Now, he also says here that, saying owning crypto is no longer a speculative position. So it's not a speculative position anymore. Okay. the last point I want to point out is that GME holding is also not a speculative play anymore. Remember, they used to say that, oh, it's a meme stock and it's so speculative, you know, if you want to hold these type of stocks, da 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 da. Right? So eventually they're going to come around. They're going to say, oh, actually, you know, GME is actually doing this and this and this. They're massive amount of cash. They have so many options. You're going to see that more and more coming in. So just wait for it, okay? These people don't care either way. They just care to accumulate while misdirecting you to some crap, okay? Whatever crap that they're putting in front of you. You know all this, right? So just ignore those. And again, that's the reason why I buy into XRP is because I don't, you know, care about all the crappy things, you know, like the meme coins, the dog coins, the whatever, right? Because I believe in the technology underlining it. Whether it's going to be useful or not, that's on my own research, right? And it seems like, you know, more and more right now, it's being recognized. The lawsuit is done. I'm sure most of the people don't even realize, who don't even know what, you know, Bitcoin is, right? Until now, they get introduced by the big guys out there that have been already accumulating. They're selling it to you at the moment. That doesn't mean that it doesn't going to run. It's not going to run, or that the technology is somehow bad, because it's not. It's just the fact that, again, they're late into the game, right? And then right now they are ready to pump it up. Okay. They've probably been buying it since $18,000 a coin, okay, while telling everybody it's a scam. So that's why I'm saying, like, if they're telling you it's a scam, so quick to point out that it's a scam, you need to look into it yourself, okay? So, like, the other stock that is scamming you, they don't quickly point that out to you at all. In fact, they want you to you know, kind of group it in to GME, right? GME is a meme stock and all that stuff. So yeah, use your own discretionary use your own logical, you know, way of thinking. Like, think critically, you know, when you hear something, don't quick to judge. Look into the you know, look into whatever it's being said first, you know. And it's tough sometimes because you don't know what is true, what is not. Okay. Now, I'm sure whoever promoted this or whatever, saying that you should buy crypto and it's no longer speculative, who to say that? Right? Of course, everything is a speculative when you think about it. Like, there's no reason why Apple should be at this price point. There's no reason why Nvidia should be at this price point, because of speculators. So to say that it's, you know, Bitcoin is a speculative play, so don't put your hard-earned money into it, that's not a correct assessment, right? I mean, my point is that, you know, there's been so much good news, and the fact that Bitcoin is like a scarce asset, even scarier than gold, right? It has a technological advantage too, you know, the fact that you could self-custody it too, and it's going to be used as a prestige, as a collateral, in order to, you know, create those credit instruments like like Strategy has been doing. Okay. And so, yeah, Micro Seller already bought some more Bitcoin today. And so it's been announced already. Apparently, they're qualified to be on the S&P 500 based on the accounting practices that is going to show up on Q2. So that's good. That's good news for them. Not to say that they will be accepted. Like I said, it's not yet accepted, but they may qualify for that based on their balance sheets. Okay. So be on the lookout for that. That's why I'm also looking into Bitcoin, or trying to, accumulate more Bitcoin in that sense. Like straight, not ETF, but Bitcoin that, I could store in my long-term portfolio here. Okay. Because again, more and more of these stuff is going to happen, no matter how much you slide it or slide it or whatever. Slice it. Can't even say. I think I need water. That's why. All right, guys. I think I babble long enough. Okay. So good things happening. I know big beautiful bill has been passed. So study up. Okay, what is going to go up in price or not? Inflation or not? Right? Jerome Powell's already said that we have a robust economy, so people believe that. But yeah, I mean, you see what is going on. But I'm hoping that people are not going to miss this opportunity. I know that some of my coworker might not be able to capitalize on this because, again, they're not even aware of this. You guys, like, even though I've been telling them, hey, pay attention to this and this and this, they're not going to pay attention until it's too late for them already. Okay. The same way with these fund managers that are, in the know for quite some time. It's very difficult to steer them from the traditional finance or whatever, right? Because that's all they have. The metric that they're using has been taught to them so many years, and they think that that's the only metric that matters. Even though some of the metric, think about it, who taught those metric? It's probably private equity, whatever metric that they're using, EBITDA, instead of EBIT, right? So just to confuse the market in order to, put a lipstick on a pig's type thing, right? So the whole point is that there's a lot of level of deception, okay? And that's why when strategy is coming up with the product that they have, Strife or whatever, the debt instrument, they don't know how to start to evaluate that. The same way with Gamestop, right? When we have a lot of cash, nobody knows how to, like, it's almost like the calculator is broken in the investment world. It's like, oh no, you're not allowed to have that much cash. No. You're retail. You're not supposed to have that much cash. It's like, if you do, you're doing it wrong, right? It's like, what? Since when? So it's pretty comical to see all these financial reporters who trying to like steer you away from GME or strategy, right? Like I said, like if they're so quick to point out, oh, it's such a Ponzi scheme, right? Using that term to try to scare people out, I implore you to at least look that direction real quick and kind of see what's behind the curtain. Why are they scaring away from that? So like I said, it might not be the scam that they say that it is. Okay, that there might be actually an opportunity for you to get into it, and massively benefiting from this massive influx of capital that is going to go into blockchain technology. So yeah, that's going to be pumped next because they already pumped AI. Okay, so that's why I'm not buying any AI stock right now, which is Nvidia. That's a big one. So yeah, understand. Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, I saw it. So, all right, guys. I'm sorry if you guys just got in. Appreciate you coming in. I am pooped out at the moment. I was going to stop like 6 minutes ago, but for some reason I went on. All right, guys. I will let you go. Might be back tomorrow. Who knows? If the price going crazy, right? or crazy low, crazy high or crazy low, I'll be back. Okay.